Oh boy, it's another one of those videos. I'm joking, of course. It is the dreaded sit down and have a conversation with you to update you on something rather crazy that I didn't consider or even think was going to happen, and that is I am moving house again. Oh, and you never guess where I'm going. I'm going back to where I just moved from. But before I reveal where I'm actually moving to and all the logistics around that, I feel like I should probably paint you a picture of the past couple of years. So let's rewind the tape a little bit. As they started building this new property on the ground floor, they discovered that the building is actually not fire safe. For those of you who have been around for a while now, that you'll know that 2 years ago we were evicted from our 2-bedroom flat in Warwick due to fire safety, and as a bit of a precaution we had to live in an Airbnb for 6 months. Now the company that had to repair the flats and make them safe for us to return to didn't do the tidiest job in the world, and ended up getting dust all over our furniture and just everything inside the flat. So we decided that it'd be a good idea to renovate the flat and make it a nice place to return to, so we didn't feel so bad about leaving a nice big house and going back to our flat, and it made it a bit more practical for us to live in whilst we're all working there and with the kids and stuff like that. So I took it upon myself to completely renovate the flat I'd been living in for over a decade, and we moved back in. Over the next 6 months you saw me and my family completely take down and demolish my nan's old conservatory because it was falling down and it just wasn't safe, and we built a brand new one for her. And shortly afterwards I thought it'd be a good idea to convert her garage and turn that into a storage space, because we were living in our 2-bed flat, we didn't have a lot of room, and it just made a whole lot of sense to do that. So I spent a lot of money, probably about 4 grand, converting the garage, and then towards the end we got offered the bungalow. Now what you may not have known about the bungalow is that my brother used to live there, and it was kind of a now or never decision. My brother was moving out because he needed a new home to move into, and the bungalow was ready available. We'd also talked about plans for building a campsite on my mum's land, which was literally across the road, and it made a whole lot of sense to move there. However, the timing wasn't great because we knew we had a baby on the way, and trying to move, renovate a house and have a baby all at the same time is a bit of a manic decision, but we went for it anyway. We knew it was time to move out of the flat and find a bigger home and be closer to the farm anyway, so we leapt. And I spent the following 3 months completely flipping the bungalow. As you have seen by the renovation, I've been very fortunate to have a lot of helping hands along the way, including friends like Brittany and Martin, Adi and Jamie, and a ton of family members coming round to just help us as a family settle into this home and make it a livable space. I rewired the house, I replumbed the house, I put a brand new pump in, I fitted a whole new bathroom and made this bungalow a really nice environment to live in. And for the past 6 months we've been here, we genuinely love it. I mean, we're surrounded by this. It's on my doorstep. I don't have to go anywhere. I look out my window and this is what I see. And me and Jess really like living here. The kids have settled in at school and they really like that. I say they, Benjamin really likes the new school. And yeah, we have settled, to be honest, but we always knew that the landlady was going to knock the house down. However, there was always a slim chance that if we made it look nice, she wouldn't. And as it turns out, she's changed her mind, and she's keeping the house. So you might be wondering, why on earth would I move away from this? Especially now that the campsite progression has kicked off and we're really getting the ball rolling with that. We've invested so much money into this house to make it nice, and it just doesn't seem like a very logical decision to move. However, what I have failed to mention is that the house we're moving into is my nan's house. And whilst I don't get luxury views like this, it is a once in a lifetime opportunity. There has been a lot of logistics, a lot of back and forth. I have asked just about everybody I know for their opinion on whether we should do this, just to make sure we are making the right decision. But long story short, my nan got offered what you would call a pensioner home. And it's a one-bed bungalow, and it's just a lot easier for my nan to live in. Like, she's got amenities around her. I mean, the house has like a panic button if she ever needs help, which, touch wood, she doesn't, but I'm always going to be down the road anyway if she does need help. And it just makes a lot of sense for my nan to move there, because where her house is currently, what you may not have seen, or maybe you have through some B-roll, is that she lives on a hill in the middle of a forest or a wooded area, and it's not a very accessible location, and she can't leave, she can't walk down to the shops, for example. It's really hard for anybody to get to her on like a short notice. So it makes a lot of sense for my nan to take this place. And she asked, and I feel so, it's like mixed feelings. I feel so genuinely blessed and honoured that she'd even consider me to take this house, but she's asked if we will move there, and if it means that my nan gets a better comfortable living situation and we get to move back. I want to say home, but I grew up there. Like, I have so many fond memories at my nan's. You've probably heard me talk about it quite a lot, especially if you've been on this channel for a while. I've mentioned many a story here, and it's just a dream place to grow up, and I want my kids to grow up there. I want the house to stay in our family. And whilst it is an absolutely mad decision to move again, 6 months Airbnb, 6 months flat, 6 months bungalow, and then 6 months, not 6 months, but moving again, it's a crazy decision, but we think it's the right one, and we're doing it. Now at this point, I'm going to clear up probably some frequently asked questions, or questions I feel like are probably going to come. The first one being is the bungalow situation. No, it's not being knocked down anymore. It turns out that she has been seeing this property, and we've done the gardening and made it nice and stuff, and she's been inside to see all the stuff that I've done there, and she's decided to keep it. But likely chances are, and I feel fairly confident in saying this, that regardless of her deciding to keep it, I'm pretty sure at the end of our 2-year tenure that we had there, or that we were given there, she probably still would not evicted us, but we probably still would have moved out, because she wants to do further additions to the home. She wants to redo all the exterior of it. She wants to stick up new hedging and stuff, and she's going to need a couple of months of nobody living in this property for her to do that. And she already has some farmers in mind that she'd want to live there to help her on the farm, as it is what you consider like a farm worker's house. It's there for people who work on that farm to take care of like the cattle and the sheep and the general maintenance of the farm, and someone who is a farmer will be better suited to live there than me and my family. So it's not like, it's almost a silver lining, because we never knew whether she was going to keep it or not, and it wasn't until I told her that we were going to move out that she decided that she was going to keep it anyway. So likely chances are in 2 years time, or well, a year and a half now, we probably would have had to move out anyway, and we would have been in another situation where we don't really know where we're going. Whereas at least with this is a forever home. This is something that me, Jess, my family in general have searched for and longed for so many years. We want somewhere where I can put an extension up, or I can do something to the house, and I know that it's going to stay that way, and I don't have to fear about, in 2 years time it's like just a waste of money. I want a place where I can put my money into and actually reap the rewards of this. And I have all of the assurances in the world to do that here. It does sadly mean that probably the biggest downside of this whole situation is that Benjamin went to reception in one school, he's gone to year 1 in another school, and he's moving again, and it's a really, really bad system. On the plus side, he got into the school we want him to, which is amazing. It's a little school in a village where we're going to, and it's a great school. I went there, a lot of my family went there as well. So it's a really lovely school. My sister lives in the same village as well, which is also great. So it's a bit of like, we kind of decided that it was short-term stress for long-term happiness, and this house needs a ton of work to make it flow and feel like home for me and my family. It's been my nan's house for the best part of 50 plus years, and in the nicest possible way. I want it to feel like my home, if that makes sense. It's such a sensitive and strange topic, but I don't really want to wake up in my nan's bedroom. I want to wake up in my bedroom, and I hope everyone in my family, if you're watching this, so I find it so bizarre that my family watch my videos, but I hope people can understand that, and I want to be as sensitive and respectful as possible. I'm not just going to rip the house to shreds and the garden and start from scratch, because that would be bonkers. One, I can't really afford to move, to be honest. I have no idea how we're going to do this. If you haven't done this already, go buy my merch. Now is the time. I think someone said like I should do a GoFundMe, but I feel so weird about that. But honestly, I have no idea how we're going to do it. We're just going to wing it, which I will explain after this what the plan is, but I want to be as respectful as possible. Like, before my nan moves out, I want to walk around the garden, and like, because my nan is super fond of her garden, and I don't want to take it all out. I want to add to it and complement what she's done for so many years, and I still want there to be a feeling of our family that grew up there. I don't want my family to come around and it feels like a new country or a different planet. Do you know what I mean? I want it to still feel like home. It's obviously going to be weird. It's very nice at the moment. Like, you kind of walk down the path and it's like you're always welcome, because it's like the family home. So whereas when I lived there, I don't want people to feel like, oh, I have to stand at the top of the gate. Bearing in mind the path is a good 30 meters away from the house, so it's like I don't want people to stay at the top and be like, oh, can we come in? I still want it to feel welcoming, and obviously I don't want just people walking into my house. You never know, the kids running around naked and all sorts of stuff, but I want it to still feel like that, like it's still the family home, and whilst it will be our home, I want my family to feel just as welcome as they always have been. Like, I'm not here trying to take away. As I say, it's been a hard thing for me to wrap my brain around, but there's a lot of work to be done. A crazy renovation is on its way, so all those people who have loved renovations, buckle in, because I've got quite the work cut out for me. It's going to be absolutely manic, but exciting times. The other question I think I'll probably get asked quite a bit is the situation with the farm. Is that still going to continue? Is it stopping now? The answer is the farm will continue. I'm going to carry on coming up here, and the farming, like campsite videos and the occasional like tractor and general farm videos will happen. It just means that I'm not across the road anymore, where I can nip literally 30 seconds away and go and pot around the farm and do whatever. It's going to be more of a case of like, okay, if I'm working this weekend on the farm, I just have to get up early and drive to work and do a video or help out down the farm. It's less convenient from the farming perspective, but nothing's going to change. My mom's not going to suddenly stop doing the campsite all of a sudden because I've moved further away. It just means that my involvement will be less frequent. Anyways, on to I say brighter futures. Everything will kind of stay as is, and you're not going to see a drastic change in like the campsite and all the things and like fun activities that go down there. We'll still open a campsite. There'll still be a great discount for all of the people that watch my videos if you want to come and visit us on the campsite and stop over and appreciate the amazing views that we have on offer here. But let's move on to the future and the plans that I've kind of got in place for what we're going to do. It's fairly similar to how it was with the bungalow, in the sense that the main priority is the bathroom and the bedrooms, so that we can move into it and have a room, like comfortable living, essentially live in. So the rooms need to be completely renovated, as well as the bathroom. So they're the main tasks at hand. However, We don't have as large of a window as we had last time. It was kind of like a blessing in disguise last time because we had Lilia at the same time as moving house. I had paternity leave, and then I had a holiday on top of that. Tom was very kind to give me some time off to allow, for the baby and to move and things. So I was in a fortunate position where I had time to move. I don't have that this time, so I'm probably going to try and book some time off. So I've got, obviously it's a lot of stress moving house. But for the first 3 months, Jess's nan has been very kind to lend us her caravan. So I'm going to be living in a caravan for a little bit as I try and renovate this house as quickly as humanly possible. As I say, not entirely sure from a financial perspective how we're going to get on. I will try my best, and I'm sure we'll pull some strings here, there and everywhere. But again, so if there's ever a time for you to go over to my Patreon or buy some merch, then please do. It would help an absolute ton. And I'll see if we can figure out some way of giving back after things have settled down. If you are someone who buys some merch, maybe we'll do like a giveaway that anyone who buys clothes from between now and like say a year's time, you'll be entered into a draw to win something. I don't know. I'll think of something along those lines maybe. But yeah, so the plan is in August we are going to be moving house. We've got 2 months left at the bungalow now to kind of prepare ourselves for moving, as well as help my nan move out, because you've got to remember she's lived there for 50 plus years, and there is a lot to do with moving her out of a 3-bedroom cottage house into a 1-bedroom bungalow. So we've got a lot of time to help move her out, as well as start moving our stuff down there. And then in the space of a weekend, I'll hire a van and we'll move into a caravan. So that's the plan so far. That's as far as I've got. There is other sides to this. For those people who have watched the renovation with the bungalow, not everything is exactly to code. And due to that reasoning, for example, I never finished rewiring the house. I stopped because the plan was to rewire the kitchen and then get an electrician out to come and hook it up to the consumer unit, or the fuse board for those people who don't know what that is. So obviously the landlady knows all about this, and she's going to be sending out a plumber, she's sending out an electrician, she's sending someone out to replace the windows and do all these different things that I never got to do, or I didn't do, just because I was always under the assumption, or I was told, that she was going to knock the house down. So it didn't matter. Now it does matter. So there are a couple of things that I need to fix and change before we move out. As far as like the money I've invested into the bungalow, now obviously I put in a lot of stuff with the intention of taking it out. Unfortunately, I can't take out as much as I would have hoped. For example, the house had a bathroom when I moved into it, and even though I've spent a ton of money putting a new bathroom into it, I can't exactly rip out the new bathroom and leave the house without one. So yeah, there is a big pill to swallow. In terms of, I'm just going to have to write things off as a loss, and it is what it is. It's unfortunate. Hopefully some kind hearts will reimburse me or pay for some of the stuff that I've done to the house to add value to it. But I'm not holding out for that. It would be silly for me to rely on a scenario. It would just be a blessing in disguise if it does come. But I think that is it. I've rambled on for probably what feels like 20 minutes now. My arm aches from holding my phone out, which is a good indication I have talked for far too long. But there you go. You're all updated. We are moving again in the next couple of months. It's going to be a manic time ahead. If you are someone out there who knows me personally and wants to help in some way, shape or form, I would greatly appreciate it. But for the time being, we're going to appreciate the little time that we have left in this beautiful home. I am at the very least pleased that it's not being knocked down and my work isn't completely going to waste. It is going to live on, which is, it's nice. I am appreciative of that at the very least. It's just unfortunate timing, but you know, you can't you can't time some of these things. It happens, and it's for the better in the long run. We are excited but stressed. Everyone's like, oh, you know, you're excited, and it's like, yeah, it's a dream house. It is a genuine once in a lifetime place. We always said, living here, we are never going to find a home like this again. Like, we will never ever have a house like this. Yes, it's only a 2-bedroom. It's not a huge house, and we would have struggled size-wise with with our family. But unless we built a house on the farm, we would never get a place like this again. And ironically, the closest thing to this is my nan's. And not only is my nan's a bigger house, there's more space. There's, like, to give context, I've got the garage that I've converted, so at least I get to keep my investment there. There is a paddock across the way, which is currently covered in nettles, but a huge area where I can put an adventure play area for the kids and family's kids and stuff that can come around and play and have our own little go ape in complete solitude with no one around to bother us. So we are super blessed to have this opportunity, and I felt like I would forever regret it if I didn't take it, because we were so close to being like, I think it's not a smart idea. We've just moved here. We have essentially bankrupted ourselves to flip this house, and it doesn't seem like a very smart idea. But opportunities like this don't come by every day, and if we don't take it, my biggest fear was I know that if I don't take this house, I will regret it. Like, I knew I would. So sorry, it's incredibly windy today, and this thing flaps like crazy. It's very loud. Despite me having a microphone, it still doesn't break. Hopefully, I'm really hoping that all that I've just filmed walking in the windy areas, that you could at least hear me. So I'm fingers crossed this microphone has worked. But yeah, I'm gonna stop rambling on, because I'm sure I've lost so many people already with this incredibly long video and story. But it's important for me to get things out of my head, to keep my mind as clear and as stress-free as possible. And having, I've been sitting on this, like, secret, if you want to call it that, for quite a while, and I just haven't had the opportunity or time to tell the tale yet. And it makes me feel so much better and more relaxed now that I can tell you guys and kind of keep you in the loop of what's going on, because I don't do secrets. I'm a very transparent person, and I tell things how it is. And this is an incredible platform that I use to free my mind up a lot. So yeah, I apologize if you've got to this far and I've just rambled your ears off. I'm sorry, but I will leave you here and just say, there is a good reason why you've not seen me do DIY in the house or seen me do any gardening in a while, and it is because we're moving out. Sod's Law, I created a gardening t-shirt with the bungalow literally written on it because we were doing so much gardening here, and now we're moving and we're not doing it at the bungalow anymore. I still think it is an absolutely dope t-shirt, and I'm currently wearing the handcrafted one. Well, it's a hoodie. This isn't available. If you want a hoodie, by the way, let me know in the comments down below. I just think t-shirts only, it's that time of year. But if you're interested in getting a crew neck or a hoodie of this, and someone writes a comment saying that you'd want that, and everyone thumbs it up, so I get a good idea that people are interested in that, and I'll drop it as well on the store. But on that note, guys, I'm gonna love you and I'm gonna leave you. Thank you very much for watching. The content for the next couple of months is gonna be a bit wobbly because obviously my scheduling was very much like renovation, day out, gardening, renovation, day out, gardening. But I can't renovate the new house because my nan lives there. I can't renovate this house because it's a waste of time. So content is going to be a bit all over the place. You're probably going to see quite a bit more campsite related videos anyway, because that's kicked off now, and we're super busy doing stuff down there. So more toilets and building a toilet on wheels is something you're probably going to see quite a bit of. And if I can do some stuff down at my nan's, I probably will do in terms of like finishing off the garage and preparing, moving stuff over, more spring cleaning videos, and hopefully I'll get a day off so we can have a day out video. So yeah, bear with me. I do apologize again, the videos will be shaky, but I'm trying my best. I appreciate everyone who is taking the time to watch this video and sending their love and support. I've already received a fair amount from people that I've asked for their opinions, so thank you so much for bearing me. I'm sorry to everyone for just chewing people's ears off, but it's just a bit of a stressful experience to go through. I think moving once is bad enough. Moving 4 times in 2 years is crazy. Anyways, thank you so much for watching. I really do appreciate it, and I'll catch you guys next time. Peace, much love. Bye-bye.